I have ADHD. I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old, which is pretty rare for women. Growing up with ADHD in a very misunderstanding society really impacted my self-esteem for a very long time. I was labeled stupid before I could even justify myself. And that's why I dropped out of school. I didn't really do well ever. And once I came to Conestoga and I was given the proper supports, I was able to excel. And of course, being in something that you're interested in really helps the excelling part. But being told your entire life that you're stupid and then having a complete switch to, oh, you're actually smart, you know what you're doing, it's been huge. And Conestoga, the teachers and the accessibility office has been super understanding and helpful towards helping me excel in the way that I need to, I guess. Especially at Conestoga, I find it's very slow the first few months. There's no work due. It's very lecture, talk at you, whatever. And then you have someone giving you an assignment in this class and 2 assignments in the next and 4 in the next, and it gets very heavy. And for a long time, I had this pride aspect. I'm not going to use my IEP. I don't need my IEP. I'll be fine without it. And then I realized that I was writing a 17-page paper in one day, and I was like, wow, this has got to change. So going to the accessibility office is obviously stressful, and makes me close off. I'm like, oh, this is embarrassing. People know. But being able to actually get the support without feeling judged, and instead being you need this, you learn differently, your brain is different, whatever you need, take it. You're being given an advantage in life because of your disadvantage. At Conestoga, I wear the headphones. I'm sure you can notice them. I have a very bad noise sensitivity. So if I could hear, which I'm sure you guys can hear, my bracelets clinking on the table or people outside, I would get so overstimulated. I would get angry and mean. And I've had so much support within my classes from my teachers, just being that's okay, do what you gotta do. If you need headphones, you wear headphones. And they don't look at me I'm different or I'm asking too much. They're this is just what you need. Even before I went to the accessibility office, teachers were so beyond understanding. Oh, you need to wear headphones while I'm talking? That's fine. Oh, you need to fidget with something while I'm talking? Go for it. And I think that just being accepted into a community like that, where you're being told that what you need is fine, is so helpful. The faculty has been just amazing, and I don't think I've had a problem with any of them. I was very worried I was gonna have troubles with teachers being I learn differently, slow down, or I learn differently, can you sit here and explain this to me differently than you would the rest of the class? Can you take the time to do that for me? And I was worried I would be looked down upon it, and if I wasn't keeping up with my peers in my classes, then I would be shamed for it. But every single teacher has taken the time to be what are you struggling with? How can I explain this to you, and how can I make this work for you right now? And it's been so helpful. I love Conestoga. You struggle with different things, but you also excel at things that other people might not. I'm able to pick up on people's moods easier, and I'm able to see the little micro expressions that might be oh, this person's really upset right now, that other people might not be able to. So not only has it helped in my personal development, I've become so self-aware that it drives me crazy sometimes, and so aware of other people, even when I don't really know them, that it's been a huge help, not only to myself and understanding the people in my life, my friends or my dad or my mom, and seeing where they come from and seeing how their stories, the same way my story was stupid, right, affected them. I'm oh, you were beat up a bit when you were a kid. This is probably where this comes from, right? So it kind of feels I've not only become my own therapist, but everybody else's therapist as well, unwillingly too. I'm oh, you need help, let's go get you that. I think I value a lot the way that society works, not in a good way either. I think value can be a good or a bad thing, a lot of things, but I don't like the way society works at all. That's something I've learned about my values. I think that people with the extra help needed, ADHD or autism or a physical disability or mental disability, they get pushed down a lot in society without being able to prove themselves, right? And I think that alone makes me very upset and I'm just a girl, I can't really fix everything, but I like to promote the change in my friend groups. Like, I like to be like, let's not talk about this person's disability because it really has nothing to do with them. In reality, it's the way that society has built society to exclude them and leave them out. And that's a huge value that I've learned about the way I view society as a whole, I guess, without sounding pessimistic. And for myself, I view myself very differently now. I find myself giving like more empathy to myself if I'm unable to do something. Like with ADHD, I doom scroll for hours a day. Like, I just sit on TikTok. But now I'm able to be more flexible with myself and be like, okay, like, your brain is built differently. Like, my brain learns differently, and because of that, I need to adjust the way that I view myself instead of listening to how society views myself and then judging me based on that. I am a honor roll student now, which is crazy. Self-proclaimed honor roll. If there was one, I'd probably be on it. I have a very high average, and because of that huge ego boost, I guess you could call it, I've been planning my future more so. When I was 18, I was like, as every 18-year-old does, I'm sure, I was like, wow, this is really it for me. It's over. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. But now, as a 21-year-old, being able to see the work I've put in and see how my disability has helped me, but not only other people, it's made me want to get a higher education. It's made me want to help people more and more. And I'm like, I can do this. This isn't a question. I could go get my BSW or my doctorate, and I could become a therapist, and I could do anything really. Like, I'm very capable, and that is something that I did not think I was for a very long time. Just because you have a disability does not mean you are different. Society needs to change. That's all.